Myself, Santosh, and currently I'm working as manager in Microsoft, taking training for KSR for the last 5 years.
So day before yesterday, we started with a simple code, but unfortunately, I cannot keep on writing every now and then. I started using functions. So in functions, the main thing is not only in functions, in the complete Python, one thing which you need to remember is indentation. Indentation is very important. No more brackets and all. You're not into an old traditional way of coding. You are into an 21st century of coding. Well, make it simple, right? Make it simple. Life is all about making it simple, right? If you complicate it, your life will be complicated. If you take it simple, it's simple as that. Now, there we have actually implemented if conditions, and then we have implemented functions. Then slowly we moved on to write some logics. So rather than writing logics, I don't have time, I have a mountain to climb. Can you give some functions? Well, Python is saying, don't worry, I have libraries. You can go and use it, right? So just jumping on to before libraries, the next topic that we are going to cover today, will be data types. Okay, will be data types. This is yesterday's file, and I'll take a copy. Instead, I'll copy the name only. Okay, so I'll go to my home page, create a new notebook. So I always try to habit of making new notebooks like this, like what I covered and all. So it makes me good for reviewing it. Okay, don't ask me notes. This is your notes. Okay, don't ask me notes. Each and every day what I'm doing, that's a notes for you. So I'll go to the Python file, and I'll go here, and I'll go and say that today is 10th. So this is a Python. So like this, please make sure that you keep on creating notes, and this is useful for your reference. Okay, this is something which I really like about Jupyter Notebook. It just exactly acts like a notebook only. I'm surprised that's why they have kept a name called Jupyter Notebook. Okay, with all that, let's get started. Let's talk about what is this data types. What is this data types? Okay, now I'll give a simple example. You have paper cups. Okay, it's a very much plastic, and you have glass cups. I mean glass in the sense steel glass, something like that. You have, again, that is also cup, and you have something called uh, flask. Okay, you have something called flask. If you want to store coffee for a longer time, which should be hot, will you store in paper cup or will you store in flask? Flask. It is a common sense, correct? Because your flask maintains the heat for longer time, and of course coffee should be add with the hot only, right? You cannot have it with cold. If you store in paper cup, what will happen? Either the paper will get melted or the paper cup will be spoiled. Now, who has designed this? Someone, our ancestors, they've already designed what should be stored in what. What should be stored in what? Flask is known for storing hot. Maybe it could be hot water or coffee, right? Now you have another bottle which has to hold your cold. So you keep it in fridge. So each one has a specific reason that why we are storing that. Okay. I'll just give you an example. 5 minutes back, I just visited kitchen just to have some water. And if I see that my mom has arranged box, different boxes. With one she has named as sugar, with one she has named as salt, and one she has named as pepper. I was asking, why have you named this? She said, what if I'm not there and you're cooking it and you mix up something else? So I'm naming it. The way she has arranged, she's actually dropping the same product into the same container. The reason is she has already defined this is what your product should be. Usually, pickle, right? In everyone's home, we use pickle. I'm not sure about outside India. Indian peoples, we also always know pickle. We use it for different purpose, right? We use it for different purpose. I think guys will know it. We use it for different purpose. Now, this pickle, you cannot store it in the steel box. You cannot store it in the steel box. Either plastic should be good, but you cannot store it in the steel box, right? So for certain things, they have certain rules, right? Sugar, you cannot store it in your where you cannot store. Anyone who knows cooking, where you cannot store sugar? In which type of box you cannot store sugar? Come on, you people are cooker, right? You're all chef. Don't know. Now, there are certain things that we already have fixed. Come to the topic, data types. What do you mean by data types? We already have a specific value that needs to be stored, and that is what we call it as data type. For example, I am storing A equal to data vision. Now, this data vision, if I go and write type of A, that means it is string. So this is actually a data type. I can store string values in A. So string is a data type. What is a string? Anything which starts with quotes, or I would say anything which has value, which is in terms of words, characters, you can store as part of your string. So like this, we have a specific things that we are going to store it in specific values, and that is what we call about data types. That is we call about data types. Now let's see what are the data types available. The first thing is we have str. The second thing is, let's make it as 4, and I'll say type of p. We have integer, and then I'll make it c equal to 6.5, and I'll make it type of c. We have float. Okay. Now another thing which I'll also take is, let's say t equal to something called true. Now I'll go and say that. Any guess what will be the type of D? Boolean. Boolean. Okay. Python supports 4 main data types. The 4 main data types are, the first one is called string. The second one is called integer. Actually, it's giving a shortcut only, so let's maintain shortcut. And the third one is float, and the fourth one is Boolean. Boolean. Okay. Sorry, it's bool. Bool or Boolean, whatever you call. Okay. Now, I will tell you what happens here. We have A is equal to string, and we have integer, and we have float, and we have Boolean. Correct? Now, one thing which you need to understand is, these are the 4 basic types that we have. 4 basic types we have, and start exploring one by one. Okay. Start exploring one by one. After this data types, we have something called advanced data types as well. We have something called advanced data types, which we'll be seeing in the next class, which will be like list, tuple, dictionary. These are all comes under advanced data types. Now this comes under a basic data types. Let's go and explore one by one. Okay. Now let's see what happens when I'm giving s equal to, or I'll say a equal to data vision. Now, since I'm giving a something word, it is mandatory that either you have to give it in a single quotes or you have to give it in double quotes. Your wish, you choose any, but this is something which I'll not accept. One giving quotes and one giving double quotes, this I'll not accept. So I have to go with something called quotes. Okay. Now, the moment you're assigning data vision to A, that means in the backend, there is a memory allocation that is happening. There is a memory allocation that is happening. Okay, let's tell you what is that memory location. Let me tell you what is that memory location. The moment you're going and assigning data vision to A, let me tell you what is happening. This is a memory. This is a memory. Okay. Now, if I go and assign a value A equal to the word which I've used is data vision. So what happens when I make a data vision? T, A, T. Let's do one thing. Let's make it K, S, R, D, A, T, A, V, I, Z, O, N. Now, the moment if I go and save this word KSR data vision, this is what happens. This is what happens. Okay. This is what happens. It will be allocated to a memory. This is called memory management. This is called memory management. Now, if I want to access only the first element, if I want to access only the first element, let's say from this KSR data vision, I want to access only these 3 words. I want to access this only 3 words, 3 letters. So how can I do it? I've already assigned a word called KSR data vision. I will simply go and say K of 1, K of 1, sorry, A of 1. Okay, A of 1. So this is A, and I'm accessing A of 1. So the moment I access A of 1, I am actually getting yes. I'm actually getting yes. Okay. I'm accessing A of 2. I'm getting R. A of 3, nothing is coming because I think this is a space. A of 4, D. A of 5, A. Now I clearly got to know that the first element which I wanted to access is K, right? The first element which I wanted to access K, right? But if I want to go and tell that A of 1, it's actually giving yes. It is actually giving yes. That means the first element is considering as this. Now with this, I can clearly get to know that your Python, whatever the elements you are accessing, okay, whatever the elements you are accessing, the indexing will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's verify. If I want to access the element, this one, if I want to access this element, Z, the way I need to give is A of 10. It's getting Z. If I want to access the V, I have to give the number below is 8. This is how you can access the elements. This type of things, like where you are accessing it, this is called indexing. Each and every element will be stored in a memory. How can I go and access? I can go and access with the help of indexing. November 10th, 824, telling you this statement. Python indexing always starts with 0. Okay. Never forget this. Even if I ask you in your sleep, you need to tell me Python indexing will start from 0. Never forget this. Never forget this. Okay. Now, let's go and access it one more time. Let's go and access it one more time. Now, B is equal to data engineering. B is equal to data engineering. Now tell me, if I want to access this E, what will be the index value? 6. Very good. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the indexing is 5. Right? So the indexing is 5. So in case if you want to access E, it should be 5. It is also counting space. It is also counting space. This is not my requirement. My requirement is I want to access KSR. I want to access KSR. Okay. Now let's go and access the KSR. Or even we can go and access data engineering. Let's see how to access it. Always remember the statement. If you want to access indexing, if you want to access any character via indexing, you should always always access it with square bracket. You should always access with square bracket. The first data type that we are talking about is a string. In order to get the string, there are a lot of things I can do. So what I'll do, my first requirement is either I have to take out this from the KSR Datavizon, have to go and access. If I go and access A, and the complete word will come, but I want to access only KSR. If I want to access only KSR, if I put A of 0, I'll get K. If I put A of 1, I'll get A. And if I put A of 2, I'll get KSR. But this is not the one I want. I want only words. So how can I access it? How can I access it? Now carefully observe. Now carefully observe. Whenever you're indexing, okay, it's basically the way you have to access will be string of from position to position. Now this is where you can access your string. Okay, now from is what? I'll give the first element. So what I'm going to do, if I put A, I'm getting everything, right? If I put A of 0, I'll get K. But what I'll do, the syntax says from colon to, I'll simply say from 0 to 0, 1, I'll say 0 to 2. I'll say 0 to 2. By chance, if I run this, I am getting only KS. What is this magic? You're saying 0 is K, 1 is yes, 2 is R. So ideally R should come. Ideally R should come. In this indexing, I'm giving 0. So if someone is writing A of 0 colon 2. So what is 0 colon 2? This should come, right? 0 to 2, right? But I am not getting. The reason is this 2 is there, right? Remember, don't forget, ears wide open. Your 2 is excluded. 2 is excluded. This is included. This is excluded. So always, if you want to access, please make sure that it is always 2 plus 1. Always go one step forward. Okay. Now, there is a glass full of water. You fill to the maximum, it will never spill out. Just one drop, if you fill, right, it will spill out. That extreme point is nothing but plus 1. So always while you're accessing your index, if you want to access this element, always make sure that it is always 2 plus 1. So ideally, if I put 0 to 3, then you will get it. So this point, if I put 2, 2 is exactly at that position. That will be excluded in Python. You have to always have that. So what I'm going to do, it is always going to be 2 plus 1. Okay, it's always going to be 2 plus 1. If you want to access it, please always write 2 plus 1. So what is 2 plus 1? And you're not that LKG student to go and write like this. Directly write 3. My requirement is satisfied. Okay. Now, question to you. Data engineering. Can you tell me? I want the word data. Some people are saying 0 to 4. Some people are saying 0 to 5. What is the right answer? Are you sure? Why 4? Okay, very good. So this is 0. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. But 3 cannot be done. It should be 3 plus 1. It should be 4. Very good. Okay. Now, unless and until you people answer this, I'm not going to the next topic. Okay. Unless and until you people answer this, I'm not going to the next topic. I need the word vision. Can you tell me what is the indexing for this? 8 to 13. Very good. Can you also explain how did you do that? Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So obviously you have 12 means you should be giving 13. Very good. Okay. Now, slowly my requirement also keeps on changing. Okay. So please remember this. Please remember this. Don't forget this. Okay. I cannot give a better example than this. If you are accessing these elements, always make sure that A of 0 to 3 means this element will always be excluded. This element is always going to be excluded. Okay. So when I say A of 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2, this is going to be excluded. So always write +1. So don't write +1, just write it 0 to 3. That's how this will work. Now, let's make it even more complex. This is all small things. Let's make it even more simple. Okay. Now, what I'm going to give, I was able to access this one. Okay. Now, one thing which we're going to do is, let me write it. A equal to KSR is the best institute. Is it true or false? Now, I want to get the word best, the best. Who can help me? I want to get the word best, the best. Who can help me with the indexing? Come on. If you do a mistake, again, I'll take another example. Unless and until I get the right answer, I will not move on. I want to get the word the best to 15. Any other answer? 8 to 16. So among 8 to 16 or 7 to 15, which is the right answer? 8 to 15. 8 to 16, right? Okay. So what about anyone? Anyone says 8 to 15? Okay. I have got two answers. Certain people are saying like few people are saying 7 to 15, few people are saying 8 to 16. What is the right answer? How can it be both? I just want the best. How can it be both? Either it should be one or other the one. 7 to 15 or 8 to 16, which is the right answer? Okay. Answer this me question. One KSR, one class, one trainer, one example. Why two answers? Why two answers? I am the person who teached you the same logic. It should be only one answer. Why I'm getting two answers? Which is correct? Okay. So 8 to 16 is the right answer. Okay. 8, 16. Am I getting? Yeah, instead of that, that extra space is coming. But if I go and write this, this is the answer. Is it confusing? Are we good? Okay. Now, let's make it another example. Okay. Next thing is, let's say that I'll take the same example, KSR Datavizon. Okay. Now, D of 0 to 3, I'll get KSR. D of 3, right? 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3. That means I'll start with 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Instead of 12, I need to give 13 plus 1. So this is correct, right? But now the challenge is different now. The challenge is different. I need as an output, this is what I need. Who will observe and tell me what it is? Sorry. There is some mistake I did. K R D T V Z N. What I'm doing? Are you sure? Just a simple question. From that D column, I'm extracting some words. How am I extracting? Tell me the logic. Forget about indexing. Forget about 0, 1, 2, 3. How am I extracting that word? What I'm doing? Okay, let's try that. Good that I've used the same word. Let me erase this. Now, do you tell me what I am doing? Okay, I am extracting. I am getting K. I'm getting K. I'm choosing K. Next, I'm getting R. Next, I'm getting D. Next, I'm getting T, V, Z, N. What am I doing? Skipping one letter. So what I can do is, come on, there is another parameter which I can give another parameter is the accessing index To access the index, you need to have from to, and after that you can write another which is called step. And you should also make sure that step is optional. Step is optional. Okay, so you can give from to and another colon you can give step. So let's go and give the D of I want 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 colon 1 I'll give. I'm still getting the same word because this is actually taking only one step at a time, but I need two step at a time. I need from this position I need two steps at a time, and again I have to jump by two elements, again I have to jump by two elements, again I have to jump to two elements, again I have to jump, again I have to jump. Well, you are jumping by two elements, just give two. Did I get the answer? Okay, now what I need is this actually is a step. This is actually a step. Okay, now listen carefully. I need, let's see who will answer this. Tell me, I need this. Who can tell me this thing? Let's make it simple. First I'll take one word, then I'll do it for double words. Okay, so I need D A G. What should I do? I want D, I want A, I want G. What should I do?
Santosh, D0:7:3.
Can you tell me once again? Can you explain how did you do this? We'll see it. What is 0 to 7? Wrong, right? Sorry, I did not run it. Okay, 0 to 7. I'm getting this. Okay, now, what is the step? Can I give 2?
No.
Between 2 is there, right? Can I give 2? Yeah. In this case, if I put 1, it is going to 1. If I put 2, only 1 is skipping. If I put 2, intermediate 2 will be skipped. So please remember that if I give 2, from here count 2. 1, 2. If I put 2, from here count 1, 2. From here you count 1, 2. Similarly, here, from here I want to count 1, 2, 3. From here, 1, 2, 3. So it should be 3. Is it correct? Unless and until you practice, you will not get it. The syntax is very, very simple. From to step. Step is optional. You give step or you don't give step, it will be optional. Okay. So with just, you can just say it. Step is something which you need when you want. Okay, now what I will do, I'll give the name and I'll give the output. You tell me what is coming. Okay, let's see who will answer this. A equal to Santosh, and the answer which I'm expecting is NHS. Now tell me, I need this answer. Tell me what is the index.
0:8:2.
From Santosh, I am extracting SNHS. What is the index? 072. Okay, how did you get this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in between, I want S, N, H, S. Every alternative. So it's going to be 2. Is it clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? Are we good? Okay. The first data type we have covered, which is nothing but string. And now here is a magic. Here is a magic. A equal to Santosh. Okay. Now what is A? A becomes string. A becomes string. And now observe carefully. Since the value Santosh has been assigned to variable A, now A becomes a string value. Simply write A dot and press tab. You will get a lot of functions. You simply go and write capitalize. It's a function. Its first letter will be capitalized. So I'll go and print it A. I'll go and print A. So it's getting small letter, but if I go and write A dot capitalize, A will capitalize will come. And if I go and write A dot, there is another function called upper. If I go and write this function, I'll get upper. Original word is Santosh. When I write capitalize, the first letter will be capitalized. When I write Santosh upper, it will be giving. And if I also go and write count, instead of count, let me do one thing. A dot. All are these functions that is applicable only to the string. Now I'll go and say a dot is digit. It's giving false. Why? Is it a digit? Is a digit? That is why it is giving false. A dot, let's do it count only. We'll see. A dot count. Now if I go and write count, it is saying that the count exactly takes one argument. For all this, it did not take any arguments, right? As if I knew it. I also didn't know. When I'm writing count, it is giving the count exactly takes one argument. Let's go and say, I'll say count of 1. Must be a string. Why are giving index? So I'll simply go and say count the yes. How many times yes is repeated? Times. How many times h is repeated? 2 times. How many times a is repeated? Z is repeated? 0. Now, once this has been assigned as a string, all these functions you can use it. All these functions you can use it. Is alphanumeric, is alpha, is ASCII, is decimal, is digit, is lower. I'll go and say is lower. So what is A? A is obviously lower, right? A is obviously lower, right? So I'll go and say, is it lower? Is it lower? Yes. Now I'll say B equal to KSR. KSR. B dot, is it lower?
No.
False.
False. This is all Python. But we are in the beginning stage. We will see more data types. The complexity comes when you're working with advanced. Now I'll show you another magic now. Now I will say B equal to 3. Now if I write B dot tab, it's a different functions. That's all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 functions only. But if I write, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 20 functions I'm getting. Depending on that, either it's an integer or a string, it will allow some functions for us. As a non, Python is known for providing functions. Use it. Are we good? Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class. And I should also say you that the free classes is completed. We started this Monday. So Monday to Friday, we have completed the first 5 free classes. And the next class, which is going to be on Monday, I'm not sure Monday is holiday on festival, but Monday or Tuesday, your classes will be again same time, 8 p.m. But this time it's going to be paid sessions. Okay, it's going to be paid sessions. So please go through all the 5 recordings. It is also available in YouTube. Go through it. If you're able to understand, you can join the session. If not, please choose the right platform for you where you can learn right from scratch and master. And wherever you join, data engineering is a right option for you, which will give you a very bright future because this is a topmost skill in the current market. Okay, so we'll all meet again next week. Please get registered in case if you are able to understand. This applies only for the new joinees. Old people, you will always be part of our group. For the new joinees, if you want to continue the classes, that is a 6th class from Python, please register yourself and talk to our team. Our team can help you. Any questions?